friends! Wow, 2020 has started out with an explosion of all the things. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I'm balancing multiple creative projects at once to try and help you if you are in the same position. So right now I have 4 major projects that I'm working on. 4. I'm working on each of these, and I thought if you're in a similar situation, you might find these tips for balancing multiple creative projects helpful. So right now I'm working on the audiobook for The Infinite Infinite that I need to record, edit, and upload. I'm working on the sequel to Nailbiters, which is Architects, that I wrote during NaNoWriMo that requires my first pass edits, my editor to review, more rounds of editing after that before I'm ready to format it and publish it for you. Oh, and I'm going to need to get an audiobook out for that. So I'm really heavy in the work phase for this one now, what I call brain work. I have to really critically look at it. I have the first of my books that will be published under my Author Your Ambition brand that I need to edit, format, publish, record the audiobook, create additional PDF worksheets. There's a lot that's going to go into those, but it's going to be super informative and helpful to aspiring authors. So I'm really excited for that. So I'm doing that for 2 books. So those are 2 of the 4 creative projects that I'm working on, in addition to Architects and the Infinite audiobook. So I have all that going on, plus the projects for my clients. So knowing that I have all of this, that I could choose to maybe just focus on one thing at a time and just knock it all out, but I have so much energy and excitement for each project, I don't want to necessarily put any one of them on hold because I don't want to lose that momentum. I don't want to lose that excitement. So here are the steps that I'm taking to make sure this all gets done. So the one is looking at my prioritization. Eventually one of these does have to be more important to get done than the next, or one of the sub-tasks has to be more important to get done than the next. And what I realize is that while I want the Infinite audiobook out as soon as possible, I need to make sure it's high quality, right? I can't just rush through it. Also, when I was recording the Nailbiters audiobook in September through October, that was really great preparation for me before I wrote the sequel during NaNoWriMo, which was in November. So I have a plan to finish the Infinite audiobook in 2020 and to write the sequel to the Infinite in 2020. So I can work slowly and just maybe do a couple chapters a week, but that way as I'm ready to delve into the writing for the sequel, I can maybe accelerate my work on the Infinite audiobook to get my mind back in that universe with those characters before I really jump into writing the sequel. So it's still something I'm working on slowly, but it is moving down in the prioritization because I know I'm not going to write that sequel until I finish everything I need to do for the Nailbiter sequel. So that's some of the ways that I'm prioritizing that. The second thing is that I'm tracking what I'm doing. I'm all about my to-do list and my habit trackers. I've talked to you about that before. If I see that I've gone for several days without working on one of my projects, I'm going to try and reflect on why. Is there a reason that I couldn't get to it? Was there a lot of busy work that came up? Were there one-off emergency meetings that needed to happen or things that came through that deflected my attention? Or did I just let myself get distracted? Did I let myself just focus on the things that I could easily cross off instead of that hard brain work of just editing and revising and really getting into the meat of the books? So I spent a lot of time on one of my projects in one day, but okay, that means maybe the next day I need to focus on the next one by tracking it all. So another thing that I try to do to mix it up is to chip away at it. So I find on my busiest days when I have more meetings, I am actually getting more done because I know that my time is limited. So I'm going to set a 30-minute timer and focus on writing or editing one of the books. So book 1, 30 minutes, focus. Have the meeting, have the call, have to do the things. Okay, I have another free 30 minutes, focus on the next one. Just chipping away at it page by page, little by little, so I know that I'm moving things forward and I'm taking those little bites where eventually I'm going to eat that elephant. And then the fourth thing that I'm doing to be able to balance all these different creative projects is breaking it down. So this piggybacks off the last one a bit, but I'm breaking down the larger project, which is putting out a sequel and all the things that go with it into teeny tiny measurable tasks. So sometimes with a creative project, this can feel restrictive to say, I have to write so much this day, I have to do this entire scene, but maybe it's your word count, maybe it's amount of time you're writing, whatever works best for your process, break it down into small little chunks. If it's an hour a day, Okay, that works for you, but maybe for somebody else it's, okay, well, I want to get in this word count, or I need to revise at least 3 pages today. Okay, even if it's a small goal, break it down so that way you can check something off and you feel that you're making that progress. I'm going to be really excited to share all of my projects with you throughout the year, to be able to, provide that learning, provide that entertainment with the books. I'm so happy to be able to share these projects with you throughout the year, but be sure to tell me what you're working on. Are you dedicating your time to one project or many projects? I want to hear about it. Drop a note in the comments below. And before you go and start working on all of your projects, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. That tells YouTube that you got value from this information and gets it in front of other authors like us. And now you can get back to writing your book.